TV's gotten to a place we needed to go where it's like must-see TV.
I
and
know.
on the line with us right now, we have Lee Daniels, who's a filmmaker, but now is taking it to the small screen. Good morning. How you doing, Lee? Hey, I got a question for you. What is the biggest difference between doing something like this for television compared to all those films that you've made? What's the biggest challenge for you?
You know, I'm new to TV, and I'm surprised they even let me on, you know. So I have to take, and they have some great, you know, Fox is very, very provocative. If we recall the history of Fox, you see some of the shows that they brought to light, you know, with moving color and that kind of stuff. So they try to get back to that old school sort of, you know, cutting edge thing for prime time, and they're listening to me. So, but it's challenging because you still have to answer to a lot of people, whereas when I'm directing Butler or Precious, I'm just sort of, I'm the boss.
Talk about, you know, Terrence Howard and Taraji P. Henson. Was it hard getting them to come on board?
No. You know, at first, Terrence and I had already worked on The Butler together, and we were looking for another movie to do. And but I wasn't thinking really about him for this because I didn't think he wanted to do TV. So my first person for this role was to sort of try to convince Taraji, and I was already in discussions with another actor to play Lucius. And Taraji was like, "No, I want Terrence." I said, "Okay, well, wow, okay, well, yeah." So I was surprised that he wanted to do it, but he wanted to reunite with Taraji. It's like family on many levels.
Everybody's talking about the premiere. So what can you tell us that we don't know that we're going to see when it airs on Fox?
You know, much of this stuff is about my life, but there's a moment in the show that happened to me, and it was a very hard experience to direct, and you'll know it when you see it. And it happened to me when I was a kid, and I had to, my sister happened to be, you know, put my sister in all my movies for good luck. And my sister happened to be an extra in the scene, and I was directing the scene, and I couldn't direct. I buckled up. I started crying at the monitor, at the camera, you know, and my sister jumped in and directed the kid and consoled me for a quick second. But it was the first time that had ever happened to me before. So know that when you're watching that scene, and you'll know what scene I'm talking about, it's the kid that's coming down the stairs to meet his dad at 4, that happened to me. That's
Wow.
something to tell you, is it?
That's what I'm talking about, Lee. That's what we wanted.
Did you get what you wanted?
I got it. You know what? Now we're cooking with gas,
Okay.
my friend. On Fox, Empire, co-creator, executive producer, Lee Daniels. Man, we got about 30 seconds here. Any films in the can we need to be looking out for? You know, give us something that, you know, hey, coming in 2015, anything we got to be looking out for besides Empire on the big screen?
I ain't got it in a can yet, but I'm working on it now. It's the Richard Pryor story, which I'm very excited about and nervous about at the same time. Because I didn't realize he was such a leader in the civil rights movement without even really knowing that he was, and without us knowing that he was, that he changed our minds on such a subliminal level about how race relations work, and it was the first time. So I'm discovering a lot about him, and that's my next movie, starring Mike Epps and Kate Hudson and Oprah Winfrey.
Wow.
And Taraji's going to be in it too.
That's going to be amazing. We've been hearing about this whole Richard Pryor story for quite some time now. And, of course, we heard Mike Epps was going to play Richard Pryor. I think there's no better person that can definitely bring that out than Mike Epps. So congratulations to
Why
that.
you didn't pick Nick Cannon?
No way. Mike Epps is going to kill this.
Oh, my Lord. Well, let me tell you something, guys. Here's the thing. That was the hardest choice. I had Marlon. I had Nick. I had Mike. And, you know, I'm close to all of them, you know, and that was really, all of my movies, that was the hardest decision to make. But ultimately, I had to just figure it out and do a lot of praying on it. But I love both of those guys, and they either one of them could have did a badass job, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Did I say a bad word on TV, on the radio?
So what was it about Mike that you say, okay, I got to make him
Personality, right?
You know why? Because he knows how to smoke a cigarette.
Wow.
The Negro knows how to smoke a cigarette. You know what I mean? He done been there. He knows. He done been where I've been.
That's right.
If he been where I've been, if he done been to jail, he done did his thing, and he knows it. Like I know it. So the other know it in a brilliant way from a thespian sort of perspective. You know what I mean? From an actorly perspective, but to be able to to walk the walk and actually know that I don't walk that same walk. And that I'm insecure and he's insecure and Richard was insecure. And it's just like, we're never really happy with ourselves.
Yes.
Hey, we appreciate it, man. And congratulations. Thanks. We'll talk to you again soon.
Bro,
okay, bye. So there you go. It's going to be Empire versus Power. 50's mad.
I know. Very upset.
He said, y'all ripped off my marketing scheme. Power's on Stars. It has a following, but not like what will happen on Fox, which has American Idol as a lead-in tonight. So,
the brand new American Idol starts tonight.
Which we haven't watched since Fantasia.
No.